Hi, and welcome to State of Events. I'm Talia Samalian.
And I'm Victoria Alanis. Police are trying to figure out how a teenager survived a flight from San Jose to Maui in the wheel well of a plane. Security video at Mineta shows the 16-year-old from Santa Clara hopping the fence and running on the tarmac. Police say he hid in a wheel well of a Hawaiian Airlines flight before the plane took off. He was able to survive on little oxygen and below zero temperatures for hours until the plane landed. Right now, he's in custody of the Department of Human Services, and as of yet, no charges have been filed against him.
Also in San Jose, a family's infant son is dead after his dad left him in a car for over 9 hours. Police say the father forgot to drop his son off with their babysitter before going to work. And it wasn't until the dad came back to his car around 7 p.m. that he realized his mistake. San Jose police were called to the scene and the baby was pronounced dead shortly after. The cause of death is still being investigated, but heat may have played a factor. A local meteorologist says temperatures in the car could have reached up to 114 degrees.
Summer's coming up and the California drought lingers on. Our coverage continues this week with Kaylee Hendricks, who is looking into the threat to the dwindling groundwater supply. Kaylee?
Thanks, Victoria. Dry times in California call for drills. The drought is hitting hard for Central California crop farmers, and without rain falling from the sky or flowing from reservoirs, there was one last place to find it: underground. California is one of the few states that does not regulate groundwater pumping. Typically, California farmers rely on aqueducts to deliver water from large reservoirs in Southern California. But last year, they only got 20% of their usual share. And this year, they got nothing. And farmers are worried.
We are now today at zero allocation. And that means that we farmers on the west side are going to get no water from this year's water supply. So all we have to work with at this point is, and I'm talking about all farmers out here, is either wells if they have them.
Now, farmers are turning to drilling wells on their farmland and pumping water for their crops straight from the ground. There has been a dramatic jump in well construction since 2013, and that trend is growing this year. But drilling wells is not cheap, and the demand is high.
There's two elements to that. To drill a new well, and the well is the hole in the ground. The pump refers to the equipment that's in the well that actually physically lifts the water. To get a new hole drilled, we called our drilling company the other day, and here we are, basically the 1st of March. He said next February will be the next slot. 11 months away.
Farmers are fighting for water, and they all see drilling as a last resort to make a profit as well as a living. To put it into perspective, it takes 1 gallon of water to produce one single almond and 4.9 gallons for just one walnut. Drilling wells may get the job done, but not without setbacks. The overpumping of wells can lead to sinking land and damaged irrigation pipes. Some Central California farmers have taken the initiative to look ahead, and an increasing number of farmers have agreed that pressure from local, regional, and state government may be the only way to preserve groundwater levels. Groundwater is not just the last resort, but the only resort for Central California's farmers, and it's not without major risks. This is Kaylee Hendricks, back to you in the studio.
We're still in a drought, but we will be getting more water. State and federal officials announced they will be increasing the amount of water farms and cities receive. They're allowing 200,000 acres of water, said to be enough for 1 million people for a year, but it won't be available until September. They say they can raise the water allotment thanks to storms in February and March. And while federal officials are looking for ways to alleviate the impact of the drought, Lady Gaga is wasting as much water as she wants. Lady Gaga is under fire for having reportedly used 356,000 gallons of water to fill a pool in Central California for an upcoming music video. A spokesperson for the state of California has denied Gaga used that much water. Gaga has replied to the allegations by filming a PSA to encourage water conservation in California.
While we're worried about water consumption here in California, Oregon is throwing away millions of gallons of water from their reservoir because someone peed in it. According to officials, a teenager jumped the fence around the reservoir and urinated in the water. 38 million gallons will be thrown out because of the skateboarder's actions. Security officers saw a group of skateboarders on surveillance cameras. One unzipped and peed through the fence while 2 others tried to climb the fence. The Water Bureau administrator says it will be easy to replace the water since Oregon is not facing a drought. The teenage offender was ticketed for going to the bathroom in public.
And in Southern California, a young woman from Oakland died at the Coachella Music Festival. 23-year-old Kimchi Chuang collapsed in the taxi area early Sunday morning. The Riverside County Coroner's Office says Chuang died of an apparent overdose of drugs and alcohol. She was trying to get treatment at a medical tent before she collapsed. She then was rushed to a nearby hospital and later transferred to a medical center. It will take about a month to find the exact cause of death.
Police are looking for a man who grabbed a woman from behind on the San Francisco State University campus last week. Around 10:30 Monday night, a woman was walking between the Fine Arts Building and Burke Hall. Police say a suspect jumped out from behind a big bush and grabbed her and held her arms down. The victim was able to break free and run away. The suspect is described as a white adult male with pale skin between 5'11" and 6 feet tall.
Coming up, we'll tell you how a Bay Area man survived a deadly avalanche on Mount Everest. And we'll tell you all about the buzz around the declining bee population next.
Small businesses are facing expensive energy bills. Much of this expense is generated from lighting. In fact, inefficient lighting can cost small business owners more than they may realize. Don't let your lights burn more than electricity. Let smart lights help you save money, and let the money work for you, not your energy bills. Smart lights, brighten your bottom line. A joint program of the cities of Berkeley and Oakland.
Coffee awakens all the senses, but only Fair Trade certified coffee awakens the sixth sense, the sense of fairness. Fair Trade certified coffees are bought directly from family farmers, guaranteeing them better incomes and strengthening their communities. Fair Trade certified. Taste fairness. Look for the label wherever you buy coffee. Better living conditions. Justice. It's people like you that can make that happen. Fair Trade certified coffees are bought directly from family farmers, guaranteeing them better incomes and strengthening their communities. Fair Trade certified. Taste fairness. Look for the label wherever you buy coffee.
Governor Jerry Brown wants to spend California's rainy day dollars on education. Brown's new proposed budget would invest over $61 billion in local and state school districts. Brown also wants to start paying off California's billion-dollar debt. Republicans are skeptical of Brown's proposal and are unconvinced. The proposed spending plan would start July 1st if passed by the legislature.
Bee populations are declining at an alarming rate, shocking scientists and beekeepers. State of Events reporter Valerie Van Ryan has the story.
Bees do more than just produce honey and tend to their queen bee. Bees are a lifeline to our eco and agricultural systems. We need pollinators like bees for our farms and natural habitats.
The state of the honeybee population is somewhat in jeopardy these days because honeybees are dealing with a whole variety of different challenges. Everything from pesticides to introduced mites to introduced fungal diseases.
A condition called colony collapse disorder has been killing bees in large numbers since 2006. A root cause has not yet been confirmed. Nikki Irving experienced the collapse firsthand within the San Mateo Bee Guild.
We had 47% of our colonies dying from one year to the next. And so it's a really grave situation. It's even worse than at the national level.
Without bee pollination, many plants would not exist.
Our fruit trees, our vegetables, our food, a third of our food, they figure 35% of our food supplies.
The San Mateo Bee Guild is making efforts to revamp their honeybee population. They are breeding bees that are the most resistant to viruses and mites. The Beekeepers Guild is utilizing this thriving colony to produce more colonies. The goal is to increase the number of healthy local bees. This is a step towards counteracting the decline of honeybees in San Mateo County.
The reason that we've grown to the numbers we have in the Guild is because of public concern.
Scientific research on colony collapse disorder is only growing. Beekeepers and scientists agree that public awareness is needed for bees to have a fighting chance.
A Missouri man is currently in jail serving his sentence 13 years too late. Mike Anderson was convicted of armed robbery back in 2000 after holding up a Burger King and was sentenced to 13 years behind bars. He was released on bail and should have received instructions on where to show up, but he never got the instructions. Anderson found a job, got married, and even had kids. The SWAT team arrived at Anderson's house a few days after they noticed the mistake and took him into custody. Anderson was set to be released this year.
A Sonoma County man is lucky to be alive after the deadly avalanche on Mount Everest. A high-altitude avalanche on Friday killed 12 Sherpa guides and seriously wounded 3 more. According to Nepal's tourism ministry, 4 people are still missing. Kenwood resident John Ritter was among those who survived. He says his guide pushed him behind some ice blocks when the avalanche struck. Ritter says the Sherpa saved his life. This is the single deadliest avalanche on Mount Everest.
Nikki Pena is here to fill us in on more news around the world.
Thanks, ladies. The search for survivors continues after a ferry holding hundreds of people sank off the coast of Korea. 2 yellow markers make out the exact spot where the ferry went under, and now rescue crews are searching for survivors and pulling out bodies. The ferry was carrying 476 passengers, including high school students going on a field trip. Over 200 passengers are still missing, and the captain, along with the 2nd and 3rd mates, are charged with negligence. Survivors say the majority of the passengers trapped were told to stay put by a loudspeaker. Tensions continue to rise in Ukraine after 300 people believed to be pro-Russian attacked a Ukrainian military base. Attackers armed with Molotov cocktails, bats, and stun guns tried to seize the base in the southeastern part of Ukraine. 3 militants were killed and 13 were wounded. Russia's President Vladimir Putin denies Russia's suspected involvement in Ukraine's recent unrest. This attack took place the same day that a meeting between top diplomats for emergency talks on the Ukrainian crisis was held. A public joint statement was issued to help defuse illegally armed groups, return seized Ukrainian buildings, and a call for occupied public spaces to be vacated. And to South America, a wildfire is still burning in Chile after more than a week. The wildfire spread the coastal town of Valparaiso for more than a week, and Chile's forestry agency says the fire might take up to 3 weeks to put out. It destroyed 3,000 homes, displaced 12,000 people, and left 15 dead. Steep terrains, high winds, homes made out of wood, and streets without access to fire hydrants are to blame for the 2,000 acres burned. International aid has given over $266,000 to Chileans' Red Cross. Chile has 2 natural disasters in 1 month. The 8.2 earthquake that struck Chile will make the rebuild effort harder. It's one of Chile's worst wildfires, and the cause is still unknown. I'm Nikki Pena with the World Update.
Coming up, a popular streaming video service is getting more expensive. We'll tell you which one. And what happened when the Easter Bunny met marijuana this weekend. Coming up.
Before City Carshare, we were spending a lot of money on gas and insurance. I felt like I had to check my bank account every time I went driving.
City Carshare is great because the membership includes insurance and a gas card. I don't even know why we owned a car in the Bay Area.
Now we just have more money to spend on other things.
City Carshare is an important part of our lives.
City Carshare gives you the benefits of using a car
without the hassles of owning one.
My life is out of control. I have no job, no health insurance, no support. I'm pregnant. I don't know how to handle all of this, but there's one thing I can do. Take care of this. It won't solve all my problems, but at least it'll make a difference. If I can do it, you can do it too.
Prenatal care makes a difference. 1-800-300-9950.
After 4 years of looking, astronomers in Mountain View have found a new Earth-like planet. The scientists say it has a rocky surface and the potential to hold water. The planet is a little bigger than Earth, and you can see it in the night sky. The astronomers used NASA's orbiting Kepler telescope to spot the new world. So they've named it Kepler 186f. Kepler sits about 500 light years away in the constellation Cygnus.
BART faces fines after a train struck and killed 2 workers last year. Safety organization Cal OSHA is fining the transportation company over $200,000. A train hit 2 BART maintenance workers on the tracks last October. BART is being cited for not using proper workplace safety controls. This is the 3rd time BART has been fined for violating safety policies. They have 15 days to appeal the citation and propose penalties.
San Francisco residents aren't letting the tech world into Market Street without a fight. Mayor Edley struck a deal with tech companies with tax breaks and private buses, and the unions aren't happy. The Service Employees International Union is looking for a pay raise over the next 3 years to compensate for the rise in cost of living. Since the mayor's 2011 deal, 18 tech companies and 17 small businesses have opened downtown. But while new businesses are moving in, rent and income gaps are going up. Members of the SEIU want the minimum wage to go up. They'll also want city-paid health care for employees.
Netflix subscribers will now pay more for the popular service. Nikki Peña is here with us in the studio to explain in Tech Talk.
Thanks, Victoria. Netflix is getting more expensive. The Los Gatos-based company has just announced that there will be a price hike with their membership. Currently, Netflix charges $7.99 a month for online streaming of TV shows and movies alongside its DVD rentals. But starting this summer, Netflix plans to raise its membership between $1 and $2. The company says that this price hike will help pay for more original programming like the popular hit House of Cards. The show brought in 2 million new subscribers for Netflix, and since the launch of that show, the company's quarter earnings have rose as well as its stock. To be a little greener, Apple is now promoting a way to recycle used Apple products. The Cupertino-based company will now offer free recycling for customers. Apple stores around the world plan to recycle any product that is brought in. This includes iPads and iPhones. The company wants to prevent electronic junk from ending up in landfills. Moving along with the green movement, Apple also plans for solar and wind to power many of its stores, offices, and data centers. Apple hopes these changes will help reduce pollution caused by Apple products. And how about a card that holds all of your credit and debit cards? Let's face it, we all have the problem of having overstuffed wallets. The product known as Coin is a card that can hold up to 8 different cards even like gift cards. The video explains just how easy the process is.
I use this thing and the Coin app to swipe them in. Take a picture so I know which one it is. And that's it.
Then with choosing which card you want to pay with, you just simply press a button on the card that chooses which card will be used in the transaction. The card will also let you know if it has been left behind by sending you a text message through a Bluetooth signal. And that's all for Tech Talk. I'm Nikki Peña. Tune in next week for more on the latest news in the world of technology.
The Warriors are moving to San Francisco. Next, we'll show you their new location.
What if we could make a difference with every cup of coffee we drink? With Fairtrade certified coffee, we can. Look for this label where you buy your coffee.
On sale at bookstores and newsstands near you.
Experience Theater Bay Area Magazine.
Susie Ray is here with us for some entertainment and Bay Area news. What's going on, Susie?
Hey, thanks, Victoria. Well, Grammy Award-winning singer Chris Brown will still be sporting his orange jumpsuit for a couple more days until the delayed trial begins. This news comes after the singer's bodyguard was found guilty of assault in connection with an altercation with a fan. Brown is accused of punching Parker Adams after he allegedly attempted to hop on Brown's tour bus. If he's convicted, he could be sentenced to up to 4 years in jail. Chris's bodyguard is expected to testify that he broke the victim's nose and that the singer was not involved. Mrs. Doubtfire may be heading for round 2 on the big screen. It's in its early stages of development, but The Hollywood Reporter has word that a sequel to the 1993 Robin Williams comedy, Mrs. Doubtfire, is in the works. The original film was a huge success, making over $400 million at the box office, and it snagged 2 Golden Globes. Let us know after 20 years, are you ready to see a part 2 of Mrs. Doubtfire? Go over to Twitter and let us know what you think. And lastly, the Golden State Warriors have found a new home. It's been confirmed that the team will move to San Francisco's Mission Bay and not Pier 30. The Warriors announced that they will build the new complex on the 12 acres of private property. The new complex is said to seat 18,000 and will be home to the NBA, concerts, family entertainment, and conventions. The new arena won't be ready until 2018, which means the Warriors will still be playing at the Oakland's Oracle Arena. And make sure to follow us on Twitter for the latest in entertainment news. I'm Susie Ray. Back to you.
Thanks, Susie. And we leave you tonight with this year's Easter Bunny, who had to share his holiday with pot smokers. April 20th, better known as 420, has become an unofficial holiday in the United States. Across the country, people celebrate it by smoking marijuana, and this year, thousands of San Franciscans flocked to Golden Gate Park to do the same. San Francisco police say last year's celebration trashed the park and cost the city about $15,000 to clean up.
How was your Easter, Talia?
It was actually really wonderful. I went on an Easter egg hunt with my niece.
Nice. Sounds like a good day.
Thanks for watching State of Events.
Check us out online at ksfsmedia.net and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
See you next week.